Hello and welcome to the OverShadow ShadowCast with Tommy Anderson and Abigail Moat.
Hello, everybody again.
Everybody again.
Everybody again. Hello again, everybody.
That's a bit better.
Again.
Abigail Yoda. So,
The bells are going.
the bells are
The bells are going. If you can hear it, we can.
Of Notre Dame.
Of churches.
Is it church bells? Not just a random town crier with a massive bell?
No. Full stop.
Yeah.
No. Because where you are, where we're situated, there's a few churches around us anyway, isn't there?
I don't know of a church in that direction.
We're close to a church.
I think we're about over a mile away from a church.
It's very quiet. The sound is carrying.
That's like, I bet you that's that cathedral in Barcelona that hasn't been built yet. And it's so quiet right now across Europe. Ding!
So everybody just contemplating what's been happening for the last 2 years.
Brexit. It is, as they say... It is as... that's what they say. That's what
Just
they say
silence.
about Brexit, just...
The bells are still going.
No, that's what it is. That's what Brexit is. Nobody's really doing anything about it. And they're all saying pointless words. So once you take it out, all you've got is somebody ringing an alarm bell because there's a major problem. Bing! 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 I don't understand why I'm not being heard over 500 people screaming at each other. Bing!
Shall we move on to what we have been playing? And let's stop talking about Brexit because I'm sick of hearing about it.
I'm never sick of politics. I love politics. Debate. I could debate politics forever. Usually because I'm right.
Let's try getting that ego back in that box.
No, but did you hear that?
Yeah,
The bird. So I love politics. I could talk about politics forever, and the bird in the background goes.
Yeah.
No, I like it, but it is usually because I'm correct.
Why don't you just apply to be
Apply to
SNP?
be a politician. You can't say a name of a party. You're just going to get me in trouble.
Member of Scottish Parliament, MSP.
You said an SNP.
No, I said MSP.
Right, MSP.
Member of Scottish Parliament. That's what I thought it was. Is that
It
not
is.
right?
No, it is. But you said first time round SNP.
No, I didn't. I said MSP.
It's recorded. One of us is wrong. Ooh, the suspense. SN.
I want you to
MSP.
apologise next week to me on the microphone.
So I assume that you
yeah.
will if you are incorrect.
Yes, if I am incorrect, I will apologise. If you are incorrect, you will apologise.
And what exactly is the wager here?
That we will be humbled.
No, what's going on? Not the wager. What exactly is it we're wagering on?
Whether or not I said MSP or SNP.
When?
When I said you should apply to be a member of it.
Right. Okay.
When you should apply to be an MSP.
Okay. Right. Fair enough. We shall see.
Why? What do you want to wager? Do this entire thing standing on my head or something?
No, I was going to say, if you just said whether or not I said SNP and just left it there, then I was just... I know you had. Because I had made you say it when I said, no, you just said SNP, not MSP. And then you said, no, MSP, not SNP, so I'd have got you. But you've been very specific. So we will see.
I thought you were going to trick me there somehow.
So, I'd be brilliant at that job.
Then go do it.
Oh, because you have to get elected.
Well, then be elected.
There's not another election till 2021.
Really?
Yeah, the last one was 2016. I'd have to run to be an MP.
I didn't realise that the elections that had that many years in between them.
Martin Day is the local MP, and he's not going to... I don't see him losing or giving up or retiring, so...
Should I bleep out that name to not
No.
tell us where we are?
No, I've told people where we are.
Oh. Okay.
Linlithgow has got quite a few people in it, and nobody's seen our face. They'd have to ask us... They'd have to walk around about 16,000 people.
I think I'm the only one in the town with my name. I don't think there's another one of me here.
Oh, that was an existential crisis you were just having there. No, they'd have to walk around the town, ask like 16, 17,000 people. Say OverShadow, ShadowCast.
They'll just say, okay, which one of you has Abigail's got an American accent? Go.
That's a point, yeah. Just find the woman with an American accent who gets confused if you say messages.
I'd never heard that phrase before in my entire life. You called me up and I said, I need to go grocery shopping. You said, messages. I was like, what the heck are you talking about? Because you routinely try and trick me into believing something's a Scottish phrase when it isn't. And so I then asked my parents and my sister, and they said, yeah, that's a thing. I was like, I'm 26 years old and I've never heard that before in my entire life.
You know, you're really narrowing it down here for people to find you. Then let's go, right? Abigail, American accent, 26 years old. You're making this kind of easy. Yeah, so actually it was probably just me phoning up saying, where's my messages, woman? Have there been any messages for me? It's like, no, people don't phone me to get to you. They just phone you.
The only message I ever get is, tell Tommy to stop being a jerk.
When did you get that message?
Never.
Who's getting
Let me just...
Who's getting that message?
Stop being so arrogant.
This is something for you. Don't let him be a jerk. Who is this? Stop calling
I just
me.
get an anonymous call every couple of days.
Right. So just
Stop correcting Abigail every time she's wrong. Stop making Abigail feel so insecure over anything she says. You alright?
no, I can't speak then, can I? So
Oh, because your entire life is just 24/7 correcting me on how I talk.
yes. Right. So before my career as a politician takes off, what are we talking about?
We have been playing Halo.
Yes.
We have actually finished the legendary playlist on co-op.
Yes. I was actually going to pick up the piece of paper so you could read it, but you knew it already.
Yep, so I can read it from here. I've got my glasses on.
Oh. What did we just do?
We finished the playlist on legendary on co-op.
Yes, we did. Which game was it?
Halo. What's your name?
Who are you playing with?
You.
Who are you?
Abigail.
Abigail, Halo Legend.
Quickly deciding to
Yes.
leave.
Yes, that's all correct. All that information. And what were you doing with all that information? What was happening?
Getting ready to slap you in the face.
You were playing a game. See, you got that one wrong.
You're such a child.
Yeah. So, thoughts, stories.
Yeah, because we sort of we started at a certain point, which I have remembered, but I don't want to spoil it.
Yes.
But there's many enemies.
Oh God.
I just said there's many enemies.
I know.
That's not a spoiler.
I know, but it's kind of a pointless sentence in a first-person shooter. There were bad guys. This mission has bad guys
No,
in it.
there were many enemies that sort of just ambushed both of us.
Aye, there's lots of ambushes. Actually, there is a massive ambush during that mission, yeah. Which
Yeah.
you don't really see coming, because
No.
they haven't really done that to you before
No,
in that game.
no.
No.
But it was tough going. You kept getting very angry at me yet again.
No, I got angry at you in mission 10.
But you also got angry at me in mission 9.
When?
When the enemies were coming up over the platform. And you were chucking grenades.
Oh no, that's because I was somebody was trying to talk to me at the same time, so I was trying to get you to stop fighting the enemies because you kept drawing them towards me, and so I couldn't concentrate on the conversation I was having to have, and we can't pause it online, so I needed you to just. So what you then eventually did was ran away to a previous part of the mission and just ran around in circles and picked up ammo, I assume, and then just. So when I finally came back, I had to. Right, come on, Abigail, let's go. Where are you?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, you'd ran away.
When we were like on an elevated platform with a ramp, and
No, it was before that part, just before that part.
Oh, I can't remember that.
That was the
part.
bit where I was throwing some grenades up, but I was trying to talk to someone at the same time in the real world. So I couldn't play, so I just needed a couple of minutes to finish that conversation. And
Oh, I'm
You-
thinking. Oh, okay. I'm getting confused at what part of that mission we started at. Then we started in Goop.
no,
Is that mission 8?
no, mission 9 we start on this ship. And then what happens is you run through a few corridors and then
we fall down.
you're into the goop.
Yeah.
And then you
Okay.
run those
I was getting
parts.
confused. I was starting out at a different part.
So then when we got to that part where you go up from the goop, you ran away because I was having a conversation.
Yes.
And when I came back, I was like, come on, Abigail, let's do... Where are you?
I didn't know where I was.
Yeah.
I don't really know where I am now.
Oh, that doesn't bode well. So yeah, so I mission
I just
9.
kept shooting you by mistake.
Yeah. And stealing my shotgun.
Yeah, that was a
Um,
mistake.
Mission 9 is interesting.
It is. It's weird.
There's different enemy types, and they
Excuse me.
they do try and ambush you on a couple of occasions.
Yeah.
Actually,
You have to really be vigilant. You have to be looking behind you as well as in front of you. Kind of like keep changing.
Actually, I'm wrong. They do ambush you. It's in the third mission. You get ambushed while running between two doorways. They open up and both come out at you. Just remember
Yes.
that. Yeah. And I think they ambush you similarly.
And
in
yet
this mission.
again, you were on the every time that something bad happened, you were either on the verge of hysterically laughing or shouting at me.
Well, yeah,
And
because
sometimes it was both.
that was at the end of the mission, but during the mission, it's really interesting fighting down all the corridors. I quite like because it doesn't feel like here is one corridor, here is another corridor, here is another room. It feels like a running gun battle,
Yes.
which I quite like.
Yes.
That's is that a plane or is that just like Thor?
I think it's a plane.
Ah, well then we shall continue and not worry about magics. But towards I think it was when we got to the part we were trying to get to, and then there's a wee cutscene, and then you get ambushed by the bad guys, and it was a nightmare trying to survive that until eventually I lost my temper, and the two doors they came in, I just threw grenades at them straight away, and then I actually just went after them rather than trying to wait for them to come to us. And
It was fun sometimes watching your mind just completely disintegrate at what I was doing.
oh man, it was just every time I died, we knew there was a serious problem. Right, that particular part,
Yes.
because you would try to backtrack around the room that we were in and just like it just why aren't you respawning? Have you noticed that there's an enemy literally underneath you, like they're right there? Nope.
Yeah, but it would say things like too many enemies, but there'd be like 2 enemies, and they weren't exactly the most.
No, but if there's any enemies near you,
Yeah.
it won't respawn me.
It's just stupid.
Of course it isn't. It'd just be unfair if I could just beam straight back in.
You should be able to.
No, you shouldn't. There'd be no challenge at all. And then there was that doorway where the grunts carrying the fuel rod cannons come through. And the fuel rod cannons in that game detonate when they drop them because they're not in the game.
Yeah.
So I tried to sort of ambush them at the door and just got annihilated because I couldn't. It's like half a magazine to take down one of those black armored grunts, which I had totally forgotten. So I just went, oh, and then boom. But then we had we running gun battle back downstairs.
Yes.
And do you remember when we went upstairs and there was the infinity spawning door where the elites just kept running out of it?
Yeah.
And I took out like 6 of them before getting killed because I just couldn't stop them coming through the door. So instead of going leapfrog between the doorways, what we did was we went, between the arches for cover, we went through the door and just took out everybody in that corridor. Because that's the route you take to get down when you're leaving the mission towards the end. But we just wiped them all out to start with to stop the infinity spawning elites.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we went back, it was actually a bit of an easier fight because of that.
Yeah.
But we tried to kill everything on all the elites on the map.
Yes, because there was an achievement you could get if you did that.
It's a decent challenge because they're not in nice areas. There's
No.
a couple of elites that you don't ever get within like 30 yards of that you have to take out. And then wiping them guys out at the end. Do you remember what our plan was for that? Because you had stolen my shotgun. We just infinity spawned me and sent me in with a plasma pistol. So I just kept running in going...
Yes. Yeah. Anytime I ever wanted to go in and like help with the fight, I got like, no, stay there so I can respawn. Stay there.
I just don't know how you didn't get the plan.
I wanted to help. I wanted to have fun.
No, I know. Because
it's incredibly boring just sitting there.
I know, but you need to sit there just for a couple of minutes. I'll take out a couple of the elites this way and then we can go in. Because we're not at the level yet where you can just go in and take on like 6 black armored elites. There's just not really, you can't really do that yet. So it would have left me having to fight like 3 of your share as well as my own, and I don't know if I can do that. There's also the fact that, to be honest with you, you're not quite at the level yet where you can shape the fight properly.
I did do this entire game by myself.
Yeah, but this is legendary. My point, I'm not trying to tell you, what I'm saying to you is that when you say if you take 3 and I take 3, you have an awful habit of somehow managing to direct some of your enemies towards my flank. So I suddenly get ambushed because you've not fought them from the right place, basically.
Basically, I don't know military plays. I don't know...
Well, that's the point, yeah. I try and keep them away from you and end up with another lot behind me. And then, where are you? Oh, you're over there doing that with a machine gun. What's going on? So you might kill them, but you've got me killed and then all of them are shooting you, so then you die.
I sometimes think you forget that I don't play this game probably like some of your friends do. Your other friends do.
I don't forget that.
The way you talk to me, it sometimes does like, and you're using terminology. I'm just like, I don't understand.
Yeah, but that's where I get frustrated and a little bit confused. I tried to laugh as much as possible last time, but see if you don't understand something or you disagree with me, right? This isn't a military structure. Say it. Just say I don't understand, or say I don't agree with that plan. Don't just go along with it and then not all of a sudden.
I get scared to say anything to you. I'm just like, I don't want to say I don't understand. But then I get a massive lecture and then I get told, listen, just stay there and look what I do. Just watch me and you'll understand.
That only happened...
I don't understand.
No, that only happened once. And it happened because you were asking me to kill myself so you could load in and keep playing rather than just me finish that fight and then have you spawn in.
No, you have said many times throughout this entire game, okay, you're dead, just watch what I do.
No, I've said it once.
No, you have actually said it more than once.
Really, when else have I said it?
You have said it during the entire game.
No. In the library is the only time I said that, and I've never said it any other time.
That's not true.
It says.
No, it's not.
Well, name one other time.
Pretty much throughout the... Oh, there goes a heron. Pretty much through every single mission, it's happened at least once. Like... when you're in the warthog, just watch what I'm doing and see if you can understand it. Watch what I'm doing.
No. Okay, fair enough. Right, what I'm trying to say, there's a difference between me saying to you, watch what I am doing because you've never done this before and I will show you how to do it, which is perfectly valid, and me saying, well, just watch how I play. And the reason I did that one time was because you had died and you were like, I'm bored, just die and let me load in. No, if you're bored, watch what I'm doing and learn something. But when it comes to the other times, I was specifically attempting to show you a specific something. I can't say to you, here, I'll show you how to drive. Shut your eyes. You know, I have to say, watch what I'm doing and then repeat it.
So you did say it.
Right, but not in the way you're suggesting. I only ever once said that to you without a specific thing I was showing you on the library. Because you said,
Didn't
I'm
feel
down,
like
no
that.
You literally just said it yourself. Watch what I do and you'll learn something. Because I'm going to show you how to drive. That's exactly... That is completely different from what you were suggesting, which was me just being a massive beep. In which I was saying, well, just watch me and you'll learn something. I was deliberately, specifically showing you something.
Specifically.
Specifically. Do you remember when
I was laughing because I got very scared there.
Do you remember when we were running around that end area? Don't go near the banshees. And we took out everyone. And we then went just to double check the two areas. And there's a big dropship which just shoots you.
Yeah.
You can't do anything about it. I got killed by that at one point. Because it doesn't... There's something wrong with the coding. It doesn't shoot... I think it's possibly the old graphics to the new. But it doesn't shoot from the gun area. It shoots from just inside the cockpit.
Yeah.
So I just thought, that gun's not pointed at me. But we also looked at that, you can run between the two areas by themselves, or you can take a corridor around the back. And do you remember what we found in that corridor?
The corridor's wider in the old graphics compared to the new graphics.
That is true, and we did find that, but it looks wider, sorry, it's not actually wider. But do you know what else we found in that corridor while we were making sure there was no enemies left?
No.
A big, massive amount of enemies.
I was desperately trying to think of something funny to say, and I was like, no, can't think of it.
We just went round the corner.
A stronger friendship. A greater understanding for each other.
No patience. No, we found a massive group of enemies round the corner. Oh, hello. It's like 3 grunts and 2 elites. So we took it in turns that time to throw ourselves into the melee and die.
Sorry, great, you again.
Because I knew that was the last group of enemies, so if you lost your shotgun, it didn't really matter.
Yeah.
And then...
But if I lost it anyway, it wouldn't really matter because we got into the banshees.
No.
Flew away.
Because just before that...
I
we
flew away.
We jumped out... You just went, wee!
Not just my brain.
Yeah. No, we ran up to the hangar door and threw ourselves out of the door and had a look at where we were basically on the way down because it didn't matter.
Yeah. I did that a lot during the game. Anytime I got fed up of constantly dying, I was literally just chucking myself off of things.
Yeah. But then we jumped in the banshees and that was mission over.
Yeah.
And then what happened? After we ended the mission, what did we do?
We started mission 10.
And you immediately had to go away and talk to someone and I had to cover you. Because what happened?
For half an hour.
Yeah, what happens is at the beginning of that mission, if you wait long enough, some enemies come into the start area, which they don't if you just move through it at normal
Well, I
speed.
didn't know that. You should have told me that.
Oh, because I had it covered.
Yeah, and then I discovered when I came back that you had killed me 4 times.
Yeah, because the game doesn't...
I want a better gun.
No, I didn't want a better gun. The game doesn't start you with full ammo. So I just kept killing you and picking up your ammo. And then you spawned in with more. Bang. Whee!
Yeah. We should talk about that later on.
Yes. So then what happened?
We went through the level. As opposed to any other game where you don't, I suppose.
Yes. So we just progressed through the level.
We had to pause that there because Tommy was like, you can't say that. We have to say something else as you'll spoil it. Say level.
Yeah. So we went through the level.
And there are 3 different types of enemies.
We hit that big room where...
We hid.
No, we didn't.
Is that the one where you went away? I can't remember.
No, we
See, this is what happens when we can't spoil anything. You keep giving
no,
generic...
No. We got to the room where we had to switch to plasma pistol and human pistol in your case.
Yes.
So that we could
Yes, where
take
we
the enemies
because Obviously, because it's going to be the last level, it's going to be a bit more challenging.
Aye.
So they have enemies like not so much of like the lower. I was going to say lower level enemies like the grunts.
Well, no, it's not that. It's the fact that the grunts are all black armoured grunts.
Can I tell you? I never actually noticed that.
They've
Never
all got
noticed.
different. They've all the elites and
All I
the,
could see was movement and things shooting at me.
the elites and grunts in that game. I'm unsure as to the Kigyar, the jackals, and obviously not for the hunters, but the elites and grunts for sure have different colours
Okay.
of armour. So it goes from, for the elites, it goes light blue, dark blue, red, and then there's gold and black. And the difference between those is that I think the black has worse shields, but they do more damage because they're the special forces. Whereas the gold has stronger shields and usually doesn't do as much damage, but quite often comes with an energy sword. So if you do get hit, you're dead.
Anywho, there's like loads of pillars and things like that in your way. So, excuse me. So you have to really focus on where you're shooting.
And they're also very far away in that room.
I hated that level. Like that little bit of it. Sorry.
Yeah,
that little bit
that's
level.
the hard.
I
That's one of the
found it very
hardest
difficult.
parts because I mean, most of that level, you're assault rifle shotgun. As soon as you can find assault rifle and a shotgun, you're assault rifle shotgun, right?
Yes.
And they are useless in that room
Yes.
because they're too far away and you can't get close without being blown up. So
Yeah.
I always switch to a plasma pistol
And
and just because they at least lock on to a degree.
When I originally did that myself, I was literally just lobbing grenades in there and hoping
Aye.
that they did something. But I couldn't do that with you in there because I have a habit of blowing you up.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, what was weird though is that we managed to get them all to run out of the room.
They were just scared of my
was
of
too-
my stupid style.
Yeah, I mean, the door at the back of the room opens, and in comes two elites and a couple, like 3 or 4 grunts, and then we managed to get the two elites and 2 of the grunts to run back out of the room, which has never happened for me before.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, remember when we were around that door?
I honestly, all I remember is just trying to survive and try to find my gun. The entire of that level was, where's my shotgun?
Ah,
I
the
died, where's
shotgun.
my shotgun?
The shotgun, you basically, once the game gives you a shotgun, you're constantly trying to find the shotgun
Yeah,
because it's incredible at short range, and you can carry so much ammo for it.
yes.
But yeah, we did manage to get to a door and we killed them, and then we got some shotguns and stuff.
Yes.
In this time, you were very careful not to pick up my shotgun.
Yes.
And then we cleared. Then we progressed with the mission, and I sent you in to fight a couple of hunters by yourself, which worked very well because you killed them.
Yes.
How did you do that?
By shooting them in the back.
With?
Shotgun.
Yes, see, shotgun, very good.
I always feel like whenever you ask me a question, it's a trick question. I feel like I'm going to get it wrong.
No, I just was hoping for a bit more information and shot them, and you did give me that by saying in the back. That's what I was looking for. You aimed for their weak spot. Which
Yeah,
is
they've got
good.
2 weak spots. They've got one on their front and one on their back, but you can't really get the front all that much.
Yeah,
This is quite smaller.
yeah, they have a third one. Yeah, the neck.
Oh, I've never
difficult.
seen that.
Very. It's
I suppose the only way you'd be able to get that is with a sniper rifle from far away.
or a pistol. When they
But
stand
you'd have
up
to
tall.
be quite far away from
Aye.
that. But I bet my technique for fighting the hunters is sort of like back away from them in a circle and wait till they go to hit you, and then quickly run around the back and then shoot them in the back.
Yeah. Do you remember that time I showed you me having a melee fight with a hunter?
No.
And I was like this close to it, sitting right next to each other. I was this close to it, and I was running around in a circle, hitting it. And it doesn't really matter where you hit the hunter, as long as you don't bump it in the shield, it does damage. And it was trying to turn to do anything, but its rate is too slow. So we were just running around each other with me going bash, 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 and then eventually it died.
Okay. Anyway, shall we continue? Because you know which part I want to get to.
Yeah, I know. So we fought our way through some stuff. I tried to help you get the terminal. We had to leave the area. Then suddenly it popped. The Halo.
Yeah, I don't know why
The
it was
Halo
doing
channel
that.
for you doesn't really work very well.
No.
And then
I think it's my internet connection.
yes, probably. And then we had to go back and we activated it, and that was lovely. And then we went back. And then we got to a point where I had to go away
Yeah.
for a couple of minutes. Now, what was I doing? Yeah, I need to talk to somebody about something. Anyway, so I had to go away and do that, and when I got back, I had secreted us. Oh, you know, I went to the toilet,
Oh, okay.
and it was an interesting conversation. Anyway, I had to go and chat to somebody about something. No, I needed a pee. Anyway, so I went away, but I had secreted us in probably
A safe location.
Yeah, probably the last safe location before you have to just keep going to the end of the mission.
I got bored.
And no enemies come into this room, and you can see all the enemies through this doorway that's made of glass, so they can't come in. You can see them. You know, everything's nice and safe.
Yeah.
And then let's tell the boys and girls how did you occupy your time while I was away?
I filled the floor with your corpse.
Wow, that was a really sinister way of putting that. That was really sinister.
Oh,
that's like you buried me under the floor. I filled the floor with your corpse.
I should have said I scattered the floor with your corpse.
Yeah, you
Corpses.
How many times did we added it up?
33.
Yeah. It was 31 or 33?
You told me 33.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, how many?
I took a picture of it.
Yeah, how many times did you kill me?
33. Because you stood there counting them all.
Yeah, I counted them all when I got back. It was a C. It was a C. You could have.
And if we've managed to get the picture, we will insert it here now.
Yes, I took a screenshot of it.
So did I.
And I wanted to make it like a meme. So I've got you standing in a free patch, and I was going to put like underneath like because it honestly looks like you're just looking at me like, what? It wasn't me. I didn't do this. What are you talking about?
I was kind because the first time I killed you, you had all your weapons you wanted to have.
Yeah.
I left you in a corner with that
me
one.
in the corner.
And then I would have you spawn all over the room next to me.
Yeah, because you spawned right next to her, so she bashed me and then ran away. How did you kill me first time? Did you shoot me?
No, just in the neck.
Huh.
Just melee to attack you in the neck, and that's what I did with all of them. I didn't want to waste any ammo.
I watched 5 or 6 of them before saying hello. It was quite methodical and a little scary.
Because I knew where we were about, because I could hear your headset go.
Yeah.
But you didn't say anything, so I thought maybe you had just bashed the desk or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like, hello? Oh, he's not back yet. Let's continue with the murder spree.
Yeah, 33 murders. Do you know...
It was quite cathartic after the entire game.
I'm not entirely convinced I counted the first one.
And 34. No, because when you counted them the first time, you said 31. And then you were speaking to me later and you actually said it was 33. It was 30-something.
Yeah, I think it was 31. But it's still impressive.
Thank you.
Very, very strange. I mean, I've never seen that number.
Sometimes you spawned on top of me.
Aye, because the game was probably like, well, I've got nowhere left to put him.
So I'd have to like move to the side and you just drop it.
It's just so...
I just wanted to cover the entire floor.
I know you did. I've never seen that number of dead chiefs in the one place. It was incredible. Like,
it was so much fun.
The most I've ever seen is the last time when we started mission.
That was
That
will forever be my favourite thing I ever did.
Killing me in that room.
Yeah. In that game, I should say, not in life.
I just can't remember that many bodies. I've maybe seen 10 or 12 or something, but you know, when we've killed each other for a laugh, but I've never seen that.
That was for every time at the end of a mission you would kill me. Every time. That was because
we did the strict 2 missions each time we did this, and then when it would load up the beginning of the next mission, I'd just immediately attack you.
So this was revenge. Sweet, sweet revenge.
Do you remember what happened at the end when we had to look at the carnage report and it said that you'd killed me 33 times, including that 31, and I had died, was it 52 times in that mission? So I'd actually only died 19 times, which isn't bad for a legendary playthrough.
You'll never be able to leave me alone now.
Ah. That was
a lot of fun.
I'm actually thinking. I've never played co-op on Halo 2, but I've heard that they changed the rules for it so that you can't. It doesn't. Maybe I'm wrong, but I heard a suggestion from somebody way back when I was 15. It was Danny Cairns that said
Will you just tell us what it was?
that they changed the checkpointing system so that if one of you dies in Halo 2, it resets the checkpoint. So you can't just kill each other without it resetting the checkpoint. I'm not convinced that he didn't have a skull on, because there's a skull that does that. I think it's called Iron. There's a skull that, when activated, it will cause a restarting of the mission in single player and a reloading of the checkpoint in co-op.
Anywho. So we continue through the level, fighting off the hunters and the elites and all them good guys.
And eventually we picked up a rocket launcher.
Oh god, I've just remembered that bit of the mission.
And in this part of the mission you have to shoot targets with a rocket launcher.
Yes. And this is where we actually had a fight.
Yeah.
Like a proper fight.
Yeah.
But we did not introduce ourselves to name calling.
No, we didn't. But how did you not hit that?
I was hitting it. The vents were open. I was launching into it. I launched the rocket into it.
Yes, you have to fire a rocket into it.
And I was doing it every single time, but it wasn't doing it. And you kept saying to me, you have to wait till it's open. It's like, I can see it's open. I can see it's open. It's not working. And you then came down to my level to look at the exact same place. I said, okay, now that means it's open. I was like, yes, I know. I was launching it when it was open.
Yeah, but then what I noticed was that there's 2 vents for each.
Yeah, so you were convinced that there's this bar in between the two of them.
There is a bar in between.
I was hitting that.
Yeah.
I was not hitting that. I was not aiming for that. I was not aiming for that bar.
Yeah, but I think that you were having connection difficulty. And I think that you were maybe hitting something you didn't realise you were aiming
So
at.
eventually we decided to switch what we were doing. I would be the one opening the vents and you'd be the one shooting them.
Yeah.
Because what did I tell you when I was originally doing the game? What was I doing? By myself?
You were attempting to jump into the vents.
Yeah, because I thought that's what I had to do. I thought I had to travel down those vents.
Yeah.
And I kept like running it down. I was like, this isn't working. And then I was like, what happened if I just shot them? And then I was like, that's what I was supposed to do. So it worked fine when I did it by myself. I just don't know why it wasn't working for me then.
I think it was connection issue. Because I dropped down to have a look at what you were shooting at and you were hitting the bar in the middle every time.
Yeah, but you could have said, I think it's a connection issue. Maybe we should switch. Maybe that'll work better. But all I heard was, no, this is when you have to shoot it when it's open. You have to wait till it's open.
Because in fairness, you did make that error the first time you shot. You did shoot when it was completely shut and then you ran closer and went, I see the difference. It's a light orange when it's shut and a dark orange when it's the other way around. One is just an orange wall and the other one is it looks like the vent is on fire.
Yeah, well no, it looks slightly brighter. It doesn't look like it's on fire.
But that's the point, is you did make these mistakes, but now that I've thought about it, even at the time I said that looks like a connection issue now that I think about it.
I don't remember that.
I did!
I'm not denying you didn't, I'm just saying I can't remember.
I'm not denying you didn't. Oh, what a cheeky way of saying that. I'm not denying you did, I think is what you meant to say. I did say that at the time. I said that it probably is a connection issue now. Let's go. And we got to the last bit of the mission. And the last bit of the mission is...
The last bit of the mission is where you are in a warthog yet again. Which is great. And then you have to go through basically... kind of like a Mario Kart kind of drive.
You have to
go
drive.
up and down, up and down, up and down. It's like driving in Edinburgh, up and down, up and down, up and down.
You have to drive.
The best way I ever described Edinburgh was a comedian saying Edinburgh's lumpy. That's the best way to describe it, because you're going up and down.
It's because a lot of old Scottish cities are built on spurs of surviving glacier rock. So the glaciers would move through, wipe out any soft rock, leaving this hard rock behind. It would spur out of the ground.
Oh, right, I didn't know that.
And so they would build cities at the top of these spikes.
I thought the reason that Edinburgh was the shape it was because it was built on top of There's like, what was it? Mary King's Close. Is that right?
What? What is it you're attempting to say? It
The
was
old-
built on
the
top
old-
of a woman called Mary.
No, it's built on top of the old city.
No,
Just like the
yeah.
vaults.
Yeah, I know. But it's the reason why it has that huge big rock cropping which the castle is built on, the same as true as Stirling.
I was always taught that the castle was built on top of a dormant volcano. No, it's an extinct volcano, sorry. That's literally what they taught us at school.
Yes, but that would have gone extinct, and then the Ice Age would have come through,
Yeah.
scraped away everything around it, and just left this big spur.
Okay. We were just taught it was always built on top of an extinct volcano.
But this is the reason why the ground
Was it dormant?
It's extinct. The reason why the rest of that land is flat.
Edinburgh Castle just
That is the best light show I have ever seen.
It's the best fireworks display they've ever put on.
That's my Glaswegian woman accent. That is the best. I mean, you've got to say this about Edinburgh. They put on a fantastic light show. Oh, that's lava.
Why was your Constitution women sound like Gary the Tank Commander?
All of my... I just like doing that voice.
I love that. It's just like...
Seriously?
Hello, I'm Gary and I'm addicted
I'm
to
Gary.
chips.
I'm Gary.
You know, the cheesy pasta.
Cheesy pasta?
We'll get that for copyright.
Gary. No, but the reason why the land around it is so flat, and the same with sort of Stirling, is because the Ice Age came through and wiped out anything that was soft.
What were we talking about before that?
You said it was a drive through Edinburgh.
Yes, thank you.
So the last part of the mission is a against the clock drive to get somewhere, and it's up, down, left, right, roundabouts.
So I left the driving to you.
Enemies shooting everywhere. So we gave you a go first time round.
I decided that wasn't the best decision.
Well, you had 2 goes at it, and first time you flipped and killed me. And then you drove off, and I spawned in and had to run after you and ask you to stop, and then you flipped and killed us again, and we got blown up. And we hadn't even left the first area. And the second time round, I think you blew us up just after we left the sort of like garage hold.
Yeah.
And then third time, I think that might have been the first one, so it was 2 proper goes. The third one...
I don't think I had a third go.
No, you did. You got us to the right area, and then we detonated again. No, you did. You got us past the first area into the second one.
I don't remember that. I just remember failing.
No, you did, because instead of going across the bridge, you went dug under it, and then we got blown up again. Do you remember we got flipped, and you were yeah.
A lot of that level was literally just me screaming and a lot of fire.
So we had another go, and I had a drive. And in this part, I can't believe this, there's a skull along this road.
Yeah.
A collectible skull. So we stopped to get that. And so by the time we both had it, you couldn't make the jump. So I made the jump, you killed yourself, you spawned next to me, you got the skull. We had like 30 seconds to do the last part.
And then we restarted it.
So we just restarted it. And the first time round, there was one part where, I don't know how this happened. I was driving across this little bridge, and somehow we got hit with an explosion, which doesn't normally happen. They don't normally fire explosions, you know, like fuel rod cannon shots. I've not seen that happen to me before. And we fell off the bridge, and the warthog toppled, so we popped out. But you were still in the shooty seat when I popped out.
Yeah.
And you shot straight through my head. So the game popped me right in their line of fire, which I thought was so unfair. But then we got the skull, and second time round we did it. And it worked quite well, because we got to the very end, and you...
I was going to say something, and you said, shut up, watch this. I had to watch an end scene or something like that.
Yes, and then what happened, well, just before that is we were making the last run on foot to where we had to go. And I had peeled off to the side to hide, because there's a way you can run that part where you're not... It's like a gauntlet of enemies all over you, but there's a place you can go where they aren't, and you're basically hidden, but you just didn't know about it. So you went, and you weren't following me. So you went running up the middle, I'm going to die! So I popped in out of nowhere, and then we ran and we got to the end.
Yeah.
because you have to do the whole thing in that area again if you die.
It's very frustrating.
Yeah, but it's understandable. And we got there and it was great. And the cutscene on Legendary is different from the cutscene on the other 3 difficulties for the end scene.
Yeah.
And you were about to say, well, I don't recognise. Shut up, listen. Because I just had to get you to watch it so you could take it in.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I saw that.
I don't know what I can say that before you spoil it for me.
I was playing.
I spoil it for people, sorry.
Yeah. No, you don't have to talk about it. I just remember the first time I saw that cutscene where I was playing on co-op with Brian and we got through that mission on Legendary and we were both watching it and we went, you have to describe my face because it's not TV.
You were surprised.
I was
and shocked.
And quizzical to a degree.
With your mouth open.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was really, it took me by surprise. It was interesting.
Yes.
So, quick roundup. What did you think of our playthrough?
Very shouty.
Well, you have to communicate and there's bombs going off.
Very yelly towards me. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it immensely.
Means we'll have to do it again sometime.
It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. I had a lot of fun too. It was a bit harder than it would have been, obviously, with anybody else. Took a bit longer too. But you're getting there.
Sorry for making your life more difficult.
That's fine. These things happen. Sometimes you have to reach a hand out and help the little person up. Have you learned anything? Have you got any better since you started?
I think I have.
Yeah, I agree. To the news.
To the news. Why did you...
Excuse me. So the first piece of news is in relation to a game that we haven't spoken about very much. And that's a lie. So the changes between the original E3 2017 trailer and the released Anthem game, see, it was a lie, we haven't spoken about it very much, they've been investigated by Kotoku's Jason Schreier. I think he spoke to 19 developers while writing this article. He wrote a big sort of expose about EA's practices with regard to BioWare.
Yes.
We'll link the article in the description below so you can read it for yourself.
Tommy will link it.
I recommend you read it. Firstly...
I have not.
Firstly, I haven't. Firstly, EA are forcing their developers to use the Frostbite engine, which according to developers is terrible.
What's the Frostbite engine?
It's the game engine through which
Frostbite occurs.
everything is delivered. It's just called Frostbite.
Okay.
So game engines, basically, they deliver the actual coding into reality, is my limited understanding of it. You know, it's actually how things happen in games is through the engine.
Right.
And they literally couldn't put things in, and they still can't because the engine's terrible, to games that use the engine because the engine can't operate them.
Right.
It's a stupid engine. Previous developers have said that Frostbite is the worst engine, and one developer said that he prefers using Unreal Engine, and when he said this, that he still has nightmares where he wakes up and he's been trying to do things in the Frostbite engine and it wouldn't work. He said that he can do things in 2 hours on the Unreal Engine that takes Frostbite 2 days to do.
Right. A lot of this is just me going, well, okay, right. So I don't know any of this.
The Frostbite engine is terrible. You know, games using old engines are a problem. I mean, look at Bethesda with Fallout and Elder Scrolls and stuff. I believe they're developing a new engine for Starfield and Elder Scrolls, because if they're not, it's not going to work. They need a new engine.
Mm-hmm.
Because they've been using the engine for years.
If not, have they not been updating the engine?
Well, you can only update it so far before you have to build a new one.
Right, okay. We've gotten very solemn in this
Yes,
part.
we have. Yes, I don't know why. The story for Anthem has been. I think it's because this is written more bullet pointy, and I'm trying to remember how to bring it together.
Yeah, I can't read that. It's such a massive paragraph. It's just moving about, so I can't actually read that.
That's fine. I will read it. So the story for Anthem has been destroyed because there were too many cooks. Who all had differing, yet somehow non-existent visions of what the story should be. So they hired a writer from Dragon Age to come in and write, and he was really looking forward to a new challenge, but every time he wrote anything, people kept saying, oh, this is very Dragon Age-y. And I think he left in 2016. And then loads of other people, they kept saying, no, we want it to be different from Dragon Age, but they never actually expressed how it was going to be different, or what was wrong with Dragon Age. So they basically said, we want something new, like something not normally BioWare. Like BioWare's previous stuff was bad somehow. And they just had absolutely no idea what to do because they had so many different people saying stuff and nobody had any control, and it just all fell apart. That's why the story's a mess. There's also the fact that the expensive performance capture meant that they weren't able to repeat sessions and had to use what they already had. So that might explain part of why, when you're talking to any of the characters, they're just dead inside.
Oh yeah, like when it's like the bottom half of their face has more emotion than the top half of their face. The top half of the face doesn't really show any emotion whatsoever.
Aye, and I think that might be why, because they might have had to use like previous capture for the face, so they just had nothing. They couldn't use capture the way they were saying other stuff, so they just had this deadpan expression for most of it. They may not have even re-recorded lines, in which case that would make it even worse. The developers weren't given extra time that they asked for to develop the game. So to extend the game's sort of completion time, how long it takes to complete it, they added grind walls, and they almost even it got to a point where they nearly added time gates. So grind walls is a part in the game where you have to go and complete challenges, kill so many enemies, pick up so many different types of something or other, and that about halfway through the game, but everybody's mentioned it's how it's ridiculous that that's there, and that artificially extends the length of the game because you're forced to do this.
Okay.
But that's why they put it in, to artificially extend the length of the game, because they weren't allowed to finish making it. And a time gate is essentially just something like you do something, but you have to wait a day or something like that for it to finish. Sort of like in a mobile game where they'll say, open this chest, boop, wait 6 hours. You know that?
Yeah, I hate I've played games like that on my phone or my tablet in the past, and it's...
Yeah, well that's what
really
that's a time gate, and that's essentially what they were going to do here. To complete a AAA game, they were going to add time gates because pardon me.
You okay?
Yep. Because they messed up the development, and they needed to artificially extend the length of the game. It's ridiculous.
That's nonsense.
In 2014, the team that was developing it lost Casey Hudson, described as a Jean-Luc Picard. Star Trek captain.
I know who that is,
Cool.
played by Sir Patrick Stewart. Is he a knight? I don't actually know. I think he is.
Yeah, he is. So when he left, they lost leadership. So some developers have said that development for the game was 7 years, but due to the changes that were being made and the lack of leadership, it was in reality more like 1.
Yeah.
So the story kept changing, what they were putting in kept changing. Also the fact that decisions that had to be made, that could have been made by someone like him, like that, were taking years to be made because there was nobody in charge. I mean, this is what the thing is, that the reason BioWare made such amazingly good games back when it made amazingly good games was because of the talent they had in place. They've not had that talent since probably Inquisition, Dragon Age Inquisition, the third Dragon Age game. That's why they haven't done so well. EA also ordered the developers to make the game unmemeable because of what happened with Andromeda.
Did you just say unmemeable?
Yeah.
Like, as in to create a meme?
Yeah. So it couldn't be memed.
Can't stop memes from happening.
Yeah.
They're funny.
Yeah, but that's what they did because they got such bad rapport with the other one, with Andromeda, the last BioWare game.
I like a good meme.
Yeah. As I said, this is just bullet points out of the article, so this will seem like I'm jumping from point to point, and the reason it seems like that is because I am. So we started off by saying the E3 trailer, 2017 E3 trailer, had been investigated by Mr. Jason Schreier from Kotaku Games Journalism, just in case you didn't know. As of that trailer, what the public didn't know and wasn't really made aware of was the fact that Anthem had just scraped out of pre-production, and most of the content in the trailer was guesswork.
Right.
Because they didn't know what they would be able to actually put in, like the walking striders and the
because they hadn't finalized anything yet, so they were sort of having to go, well, this seems to be something they're working on more than, so let's use this.
This is what we would like to do.
Yeah.
But it doesn't know if they could.
That drives me crazy. Sorry, I don't mean to take away from that, but they do that same thing in like television trailers for television shows and movies. Mm-hmm. They'll use scenes that aren't going to be in the final production, and that drives a lot of people really crazy because they're like, I wanted to see that scene.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like a cut scene or from a pilot that didn't air or something like that.
No, I mean like it's like movies that get released, TV shows that get released. When they release a trailer, sometimes they will use a scene in that trailer that is not in that.
Yeah, it's my point. It's probably from a pilot they don't use, so you don't get to see it. It's doubtful that they went to the bother of setting up a scene just for a fraction of a second shot to put in a trailer.
Yeah.
So it's probably from something.
It mainly happens in movies.
Yes, where it's a deleted scene.
Very annoying.
Yeah, so it was guesswork. That's what they wanted to do. No idea if they could. It took until the beginning of... So that was E3 2017, which is June. It wasn't until the beginning of 2018 that one mission had been completed. I was going to say the first mission, but I don't think it was actually mission 1. It was just it was 2018. It was the first time, the beginning of 2018.
Yeah.
Was when they completed the first mission that they completed.
And it was released this year, wasn't it?
Yeah, so a year later. They knew that it wasn't working and didn't tell anyone. Now that's in relation to the fact that they knew that the engine couldn't handle what they wanted to do, but they didn't tell anyone until it was actually out there. They didn't say the striders don't walk, the people don't move around, there's many less people. Originally the game didn't start out as a looter shooter, it's just they were so limited in what the engine could do, they had to turn it into one. So the fact that they knew that it wasn't working and didn't tell anyone and didn't really change the plan properly is apparent. I agree with this logic. It's a knock-on effect of what happened with Dragon Age. I don't know if I can't remember if this is brought up in the article or if this was just an idea that I had or somebody else had, but it's an idea I ascribe to either way. It's a knock-on effect of what happened with Dragon Age Inquisition, which is that it was the first game, I think, that EA forced BioWare to use Frostbite, and it had massive problems just like Andromeda and Anthem, but it succeeded anyway, which in turn led to them thinking that their practices were okay, which they obviously aren't because they're making terrible games. So a response to this article has been issued, I think it was by EA, but it basically said that they didn't like the article because they felt that it was directed at the developers, which was unfair. That seemed to be the idea they were giving off. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't. It was directed at EA and the practices of EA and what EA is making the BioWare developers do. That's the problem. What are your thoughts?
It's good as getting investigated. That's been investigated, sorry.
Yeah, but it's been investigated by journalist. I don't know if it's been investigated by like a.
I think that sometimes, like, doesn't matter what it is. If you promise something and you don't deliver on it, I think you should be investigated and held accountable to it. If you don't give an excuse, a legitimate excuse for why it's not happened.
That would be a reason. Not
A
an
reason,
excuse.
sorry.
But I agree. I think that they should have been honest before they tried to sell the game. Fans are furious that BioWare were forced to do all this stuff. Pardon me. And I think what EA needs to understand is that people aren't furious with BioWare, they're furious with EA.
Yeah.
Because these decisions that have led to this mess are all EA's decisions. They've not given BioWare the room they need to do something. They're forcing them down the route of this.
Well, BioWare have left, haven't they?
No, you're
Who am I
getting
thinking of?
Bungie from
Bungie.
Activision.
My apologies. Sorry.
I would love to hear about BioWare.
BioWare.
I would love to hear about BioWare leaving EA, but I don't think they've got to say it's not a partnership. BioWare is just owned by EA, which is a massive shame. But then again, like I said, if EA die a horrible, gruesome, grisly death,
Okay.
then somebody can step in and
Calm
buy
down.
BioWare.
Calm down.
But developers aren't just leaving BioWare; they're leaving EA. It's just they have to leave BioWare to do it. Because that's what happened. They lost all the really talented team, and then that was it. The developers want to make a great game, but they're reduced to making this Anthem nonsense because EA won't let them do anything.
Sad.
It's just annoying. Anyway. I hate EA.
I know you do, and so does everybody that listens to this.
I hate them. I hate EA.
Do you need a hug?
No, next story.
I was very quick to dismiss my hug.
Yeah, because we have to get on with this. Next story.
Bethesda.
Bethesda have developed an Elder Scrolls game for the phone.
Woo, because everything's so much better when it goes to mobile.
It is in limited early access, so you have to request to be included in the early. So you have to request to be included in the early access. So that's why I haven't bothered trying to play it yet. I have seen some footage from Giant Boom, and shall now try to explain what I saw.
I'm scared of this explanation. Is it going to be... Is it going to be good or is it going to be bad?
We'll
Let's see.
It is set after the Emperor agrees to the Admeri Dominion's demand to outlaw the blades. I think that happens once or twice in the canon of ESO.
I will take your word for it.
Of the Elder Scrolls. So you go back to the town apparently from whence you came, and you find that it's been sacked. So you have to help rebuild it. So you take up missions and you go out exploring. In dungeons to try and get resources to build your town.
Yeah.
And it's got combat in it and leveling up mechanics and equipment mechanics. So if you find equipment in loot, you can wear it. It has a condition, it has to be repaired if it gets damaged, but that's all part of the loop. You find resources. I think I remember lumber and stone, and there's a third one I can't remember, to build buildings. And you get given quests by people, like I said, so you also get leveling up bonuses. There's two types of currency, there's gold and there's gems. Gems are used to quickly complete missions or to quickly open up chests. And gold's used to buy anything you need, including upgrades for buildings or to rebuild buildings. The mission, there's no open world game. When you select to do a mission, you get taken from the town area straight into the dungeon area, which I think is randomly picked from different available options.
Okay.
And the combat in it is you get into a fight. You can get into a fight with 2 or 3 creatures at once, I think, but they just stand down doing nothing. It's one at a time. And you've got to time blocks and attacks depending upon the circle, how the circle, it's like a circle fills. And once it fills, you attack. And if you do it properly, you get a good attack and then you can combo it. You can also pick, you've got abilities. So yeah, I think it's 3 equipped abilities you can have at once. Or 3 magic and 3 physical, I'm not sure. But you've got the typical magic, stamina and health bars. at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
And you can just press these abilities once they load up. They're not there once you start the fight, but they're there pretty quickly afterwards. But you can only use those abilities when you've got enough stamina or enough magicka. Then you complete the mission, you come out, you get all the goodies, and then you do what you can. And when you upgrade when you build a building in your town or upgrade it, you upgrade your town, and that then unlocks harder missions.
Yeah.
Some missions are story missions that are in the game. Other missions are randomly generated missions or randomly given missions which regenerate every so often. There's also challenges like pick up so many items or do so many perfect blocks or whatever. Those regenerate, you can have up to 3, and they regenerate an hour after you've completed one.
Yeah.
And the missions regenerate. Some missions are very, very difficult and regenerate once a week. They sort of give you another one every week. And other ones are given to you per day, and others are just there. And it looks really fun, and it's really amazingly good graphics for a mobile game. And it's actually a reason that it's got a story in it and all that sort of jazz. It's actually a game, but in the way you move around the world, you can either touch on the screen to move around, it moves you to that area. You can even get fake joysticks. So they're just 2 circles on the screen, and you you move them like you would move joysticks.
Oh, that's cool.
So that you can look and move around like you would play normally. There's a few bugs with it, obviously. It's in early access. But the big problem, the massive problem, is the currency. The gems don't drop very quickly, and how to put this? The real difficulty in it, sorry, I said currency, didn't I?
Yeah.
I meant to say that the real difficulty is time gates. The currency isn't such a big deal because you could not use the gems. I mean, I don't mind waiting 3 hours for a silver chest, 6 hours for a gold chest. It's a mobile game. I'm not really that bothered.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can live with only opening them. Pressing the button, come back tomorrow. It's not a problem. The real difficulty is the time gates, because you only get certain missions, like I think story missions, as you level up your town, which becomes harder and harder to do so because you need to get the randomly dropped materials that you need for buildings, and the missions only unlock at a certain rate, and you need more and more materials the more and more you build. So you've just got this huge time gate where it slows you down unless you're willing to buy things with real money.
Yeah.
And it's too egregious. They've also got the loot boxes that you can buy with real money, which are really, really expensive. And they try and say, it's got a time limit to it. Like, this box is only available for 2 or 3 days. Try to force you to buy. And it's also later on down in the list. The first time you buy with normal money, actual money, a loot chest, you get given an extra bonus depending upon which one you buy. So it's almost like, well, you might as well buy the most expensive one first time round. And it's a random loot chest, so it's a loot crate basically. So again, blind loot boxes. Maybe it's slightly different for a mobile game. Personally, I don't think so, because these things are addictive by nature. You want to put microtransactions in, that's a different thing because it's a free game. But this is ridiculous. But it's the fact that it slows the game down to the point where you're forced to either take years to play it or pay money. Now, the reason I say that's ridiculous is because this game is really good, from what people have said. It's really good. And it reminds a lot of people of Fallout Shelter, which was a game made for mobile that Bethesda made before. It was their first foray into the industry, and it was a fantastic game. People really liked it. It's Fallout Shelter in the first month made them $5.1 million, right? Over its lifetime, it made over $90 million. They did the same thing in Fallout Shelter by slowing it down and putting in time gates to try to force you to use a premium currency to speed it up.
Yeah.
And that essentially killed it. It crushed Fallout Shelter compared to its previous performance. And that's why I've never played Shelter, even though I've recently heard about it, because I've only ever heard about it in the context of it's a shame what they did to it. And I think this is what's going to happen here. It looks like it's going to be a good game that they've butchered. Unlike Fallout 76, which is a disaster that they've also butchered. But this looks like it's going to be a good game. But there is hope, which is that it is in early access. There is hope that they will realise what they're doing and stop it.
Hopefully.
And fix it. Not stop the game, but fix the time gates. Because Fallout Shelter, you know what? If you force people to pay for something when you list it as free, they're going to get annoyed. List it as free and make people want to buy some. That's why Shelter made so much money. Because it was so good, people thought, you know what, I'll just spend a wee bit of money on this because I've enjoyed it and it's worth it. See, when you force people to pay money to finish a game? What? That's insane. So people just don't buy it. People just don't go along with it. People are like, maybe no.
Maybe no.
And that's what will happen.
Maybe no.
Like I take great amounts of pleasure in the fact that I play Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, right, which is technically an EA game on mobile, and a massive amount of perverse pleasure in the fact that I don't ever buy anything on it.
I've not played that in months. I don't even think it's on my new phone.
Oh, if you still got your old phone?
Probably.
Well, if you...
I did a factory reset on it, but somebody else was going to take it.
Oh, right, so it's gone then. All your progress is gone, I think. Because they store it on the phone, not online.
Oh, well.
Yeah. That's why, it's until they fix that, phone games aren't games yet.
Yeah.
Because it's a phone, you can cloud the saves. It must be very easy to cloud a save file, you know? I mean, they've been doing it for years on consoles. It can't be that difficult for a phone to figure it out. It clouds everything else. You're still in my clan guild thing, but if you're never going to turn up.
I have forsaken the clan guild thing.
Shall we move on to the next story?
Oh, it's another one about Fallout 76.
Yes, so Fallout 76 has had repair kits added.
Yeah, I had a massive update. I'm gonna play it one day.
Yeah. They've had repair kits added to prevent players from having to repair their weapons and armour.
Mm-hmm. Quick question. If I've never played a Fallout game before, will I be able to play Fallout 76?
No. Well, actually, do you know what? First person you've got Battlefield 5, right?
I've not played it yet.
Play that first.
But shouldn't I play the other Battlefields first too? Or can I literally just go into
There's
Battlefield?
it's not a storyline like that.
Okay.
Each Battlefield has a different story.
I shall play it and then get very confused and get
Play
very
Battlefield
scared.
1, because it definitely won't have a... No, actually play through Battlefield 1.
I got very confused.
Yeah, I know. But I would try it now, because you've had lots of experience now. So Fallout 76 had repair kits added to prevent players from having to repair their weapons and items, which doesn't really make any sense, because the loop of that game is shoot, loot, repair what you used up when shooting with loot.
Shoot, loot, repair, repeat. Shoot, loot, repair.
Exactly. So you repair with the loot. So what is the loop of the game if you don't need to loot anymore to repair or build? Because I don't think the building mechanics in Fallout have ever been good enough for me. So I don't understand what you're doing there. What's the point? Why?
I thought you were talking about me. I was like, what have I done? I'm literally leaning on my hand. And you're like, what are you doing? It's a table.
So there's two types of repair kits: basic and improved. The basic repair.
Something's going on because all I can hear is fire engines.
Yeah. But we'll try and push through.
Sorry. Just in case you're wondering if the mic did indeed pick that up.
That's just Abigail going, woo, woo.
Stop it. Stop it.
I don't know what you kicked, but it wasn't me.
Your chair leg.
Please don't do that.
I didn't mean to. I thought it was your leg.
My leg is not that thin.
I couldn't really see where I was aiming.
So the basic repair kits, they repair your items to 100%. And they're available in the Atomic Shop.
Mm-hmm.
Improved repair kits are rarer items that can be given as reward for quests and for killing the Scorch Beast Queen. The Scorch Beast Queen is an enemy that appears when you nuke an area.
Oh, thanks for ruining for me whenever I go to play Fallout 76.
That's no. You're told that. That is the
Okay.
reason to use the nukes.
Okay.
Now that process takes at least, according to one person, an hour to do, and this would sort of be pointless because by the time you get this, what you must presume to be one repair kit, you've used a massive amount of equipment and weapons to do it, so you're net down, so it's kind of pointless.
Yeah.
So it gets to, I think it improves your crit to 150%.
Mm-hmm.
But so that seems to be a bit pointless.
Mm-hmm.
But the basic repair kits are available in the Atom Shop.
For real money?
Well, you can buy them with the free atoms, but it depends how much they cost, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Also, there is a question here of, is this pay to win? Because if you buy enough repair kits, you don't ever have to you can do the shoot and loot, but you don't have to bother with the repair, so you can just focus on getting loot to have good equipment and weapons. You don't need to use it. There's no concern when it comes to keeping your equipment useful. So if you've got an amazing weapon, it takes a lot of loot to keep repaired. Well, you can just use this instead. Boop. Repair kit. Boop. Boop. Da 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 da. Boop. And this sort of comes with 2 points here. This game is a looter shooter, which is removing the need to loot? Question mark. And point 2, is this pay to win? Question mark.
Are you asking me?
Yes.
Or oh. I don't know.
Well, it is removing the need to loot to a degree, so I'm asking you what you think of a looter shooter that is reducing the emphasis of loot.
Makes no sense.
Okay. And
You have to call it something else.
Is this pay to... Well, it does have loot, because you can still get new equipment, new items, you can still get loot for
But if you're playing a game which is specifically saying it's a looter shooter, surely that's the two things
I
you are
don't necessarily think it says it's a looter shooter, it just is a looter shooter.
Okay.
But it's not like a typical looter shooter, because you can use the loot to not just repair items but build like buildings and stuff, but it takes away a part of that.
Mm-hmm.
So secondly, is this pay to win?
I think so.
See, I'm not entirely convinced, because it depends. You would still need to have that great equipment that you're not having to find the loot to fix. You're able to just fix it up. I'm not entirely sure. It depends how it manifests itself in game.
Yeah.
But it could potentially be, I'll agree with that. But I don't think it is innately.
No.
I do think it's unfair. Because if you were to pay money, you'd get in a bit of an easier time of it. But then again, you're also missing out a giant loop of the game, so I'm not sure. I don't know. It depends how I don't see the point in this, but it depends how it manifests. It seems to be pay to make the game pointless to a degree. But something similar has happened with Fallout 76 with the Unstoppable costumes. They sold those for a limited amount of time. I think it was only a few days. These were for teams, and they gave a health boost. So for each individual unique costume that was worn by a member of your team, the entire team got a plus 15 health boost. Now there are 4 costumes, 800 atoms a piece, $8 a piece. So your whole team had to spend over 30 quid, which is more than the game costs now. Oh, $30, sorry, which apparently is more than the game costs now. And that gave you a plus 60 health boost. Now that boost of plus 60 is higher than you get from anything else in the game, I think. You'd say I put it into context, buff out, which only lasts for a limited amount of time when you take it, I think it's 6 minutes or something, gives you a plus 50. This is a permanent plus 60. And they were selling it. And what that does is it actually breaks the original promise made by the developers of Fallout 76, where they said that the Atomic Shop and microtransactions would be cosmetic only. Whereas that is play to win.
Yes.
Pay to win. If you're getting a plus 60 health point boost by spending 30 quid between 4 people, that is play to win. Pay to win. But that happened a while ago, and it seemed to go unnoticed. So how are they getting away with that? Because they promised it would be cosmetic only, and then they put in a cosmetic which had an actual stat boost. It'll only a matter of time before loot boxes go into that game, and they just say, "Oh well, you know, we had to blah blah blah." Because when I recently asked about it, Todd Howard did say that Fallout 76 was a success because they had millions of players. No, your game's a disaster, mate. It's a laughing stock. Oh, you got millions of players. Shut up. Shut up, you tiny little insignificant human being. You can't even admit when you've made a mistake. Shut up. He's tiny. He's the same size as Charlotte Curry, and she's like 84.
Alright. Okay.
He's tiny.
I've got nothing else to say on that.
Well, the fact he's tinier.
No, that last game. So, shall we end it there for today?
I'm just really annoyed at Bethesda because they're just trying. It looks like they're trying to become like Activision and EA, but they're doing it in a really weird way, and they don't need to. You know, if they just took their time and made good games, they'd have been fine. It's very annoying and upsetting considering how much I like their games.
So, if you enjoyed our ramblings for today, please subscribe to our channel and hit that like button and hit the bell for notifications on the Wednesday updates.
Yes.
Every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday. I just wish that we could do something like that was a bit happy and a bit more fun than just sitting here basically telling bad news.
Same. Maybe we need to rethink the news segment.
No, there isn't good news. There is no good news.
We need to have some fluff stories then. Bad news, fluff story. Bad news, fluff story.
There's a squirrel that can water ski. So you can follow us on...
I'd like to see that.
You can follow us on Facebook at OverShadow.ShadowCast, and you can contact us at overshadow.shadowcast@gmail.com.
Sorry, I didn't realise you were waiting for me to say something.
I normally am.
So thank you for listening today.
We hope you enjoyed yourself as much as we enjoyed ourselves.
Yes. I was trying to think of something funny to say there and I couldn't think of anything.
That is the title of this podcast.
And if you'd like to leave a comment, that'd be brilliant. If you'd like to comment how many times you killed your friend in Halo, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah, that'd be good
Comment
too,
the number of times you've killed your friend in Halo in one go.
Yeah, the record is 31.
Post a picture.
Yeah. I don't know if they can. Does YouTube allow that?
I think they can. You can post a meme.
On YouTube's comments?
Pretty sure.
Okay.
I think I've seen it.
Okay.
So thank you guys for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.